Congregation, our sermon this morning will come from John chapter 6. And we've had a nice introduction to John, the Gospel of John, over the past several weeks. And so we don't need to spend much time on the context this morning. But we'll get right into John chapter 6, where we see at the beginning, the miracle of the loaves and fishes. We see that Jesus and his disciples are preaching to a great crowd on the shore of the Sea of Galilee. And there's the well-known miracle of how Jesus fed more than 5,000 people. It says just 5,000 men plus women and children with just a few loaves and a few fishes. And as the miracle concludes, we read that the people in verse 14 realize, maybe for the first time, but maybe this just confirms them. They realize that this is, it says in verse 14, the great prophet. This is of a truth, that prophet that should come into the world. And then in verse 15, we read that Jesus perceived that they would come and take him by force to make him their king. And so obviously the people don't have a right understanding. Even though they do perceive that this is that great prophet, they misunderstand the role of that prophet. They misunderstand the role of Christ. And they're determined to make him a king, whether he wants to be their king or not. And so to avoid that, Jesus goes up into a mountain alone. In the parallel accounts in Matthew and in Mark,